What's up, everybody? No, I'm just kidding. Alright, today I'm going to teach you guys how to build a basic drop rail street luge out of wood. This is one that the chassis is already done, and it's 3 sections. And I'm going to show you, I have a new one here. It's straight piece of oak. This here is actually just a regular pine 2x4. But my oak piece is already cut, and I'm going to show you guys what you need to do to cut it, your measurements, and hopefully you'll have a nice street luge as long as you are safe when you build it and you know how to use the tools and equipment, and you take your time and are precise. You'll have a nice street luge. Alright, the first thing you guys need to know is what type of wood to use in building your street luge. Now, the most simple thing to do is just go get a 2x4. That's all you need. Make sure that it's straight. If you have to look through a huge pile of 2x4s to find a straight 2x4, then do it. My friend built this one and didn't look at how bad it was twisted, and it's wobbly and crooked and it looks like a crazy straw if you look down it. The most simple thing to do to make sure it's straight is hold your 2x4 up and look down at both sides like this. If you see it bend or if you see it twist, keep looking. Find a straight one. If it's not straight, you're going to have a lot of problems mounting your trucks. And you want your trucks to be straight. And you also don't want it to wobble because it's not going to ride right. Another thing too is, since there's different grades of 2x4, this specific 2x4 is yellow wood. It's pressure treated. But what I'm getting at is you want to make sure that you get a 2x4 that doesn't flex a lot. If your luge flexes a lot, it's not going to handle properly. The more rigid and less it flexes, the better it's going to handle. Also, the more rigid it is, the more vibration you're going to get, but usually wood will absorb a lot of the vibration for the most part, but you can compensate for that vibration by applying foam, which also doubles as a non-skid surface, so you have a nice place to sit and you're not going to slide off. But anyway, I'm going to do something a little bit different than use a 2x4. The reason I'm going to do that is the way that you guys are going to build it is, if you do use these 2x4s, you're going to have a plywood spacer in between the sections, okay, where they screw together. Now, this plywood needs to be 1/2 inch thick. This is already a cut strip that I used before, but usually I think that you can get a 4x4 foot piece of plywood, and you can use it as your seat pan, and you can also use it for these little spacers here. The spacer is going to go in between the top and bottom pieces. It's going to be about 3.5 inches from top to bottom, as long as you're using a 2x4. Now, 2x4s are about 1.5 inches thick, so when you add that 1/2 inch piece in between there, it's going to give you just the right amount of ride height from the ground to the bottom of your torso piece. The difference between how I'm making this one is I'm not going to use this 1/2 inch spacer. Okay? How I'm going to compensate for that is that this piece of oak that I have, instead of being 1.5 inches thick like 2x4s are, is going to be 1 3/4 inches. Alright, and all that's going to do is that extra 1/4 inch is just going to compensate for that, not having that piece of that plywood in there. Next, I'm going to tell you guys about what measurements, how you need to make your measurements, and then we'll go on to putting it together.